Welcome in, everybody. Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Father's Day.
All right.
To all the masculine energy in the room, whether you're male, female, whatever. Yes, so I just invite you to settle in. Lower or close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. And let me take you through this centering. Take a slow, deep breath in. And exhale. Again, inhale deeply. And exhale. One more time to ground. Breathing in peace. And breathing out tension. Now allow these words to guide you inward. I envision a world of harmony and peace, where everyone is accepted and valued. I imagine a harmonious human family, caring for one another. I visualize unity replacing conflict. Nations coming together and finding solutions to the world's problems. Let this vision settle into your heart. Feel the truth of it as if it were already real. Peace begins in my mind and heart. I am a presence of peace, radiating light and love to all corners of the earth. Take a moment now to feel that radiant light within you. Expanding gently outward. I am mindful of my thoughts, words, and actions, and release my judgments and resentments. Let go of anything that no longer serves peace. Exhale it softly. And feel yourself lighten. In my inner sanctuary of prayer, I listen for the still, small voice within as I imagine myself in the presence of the divine. Rest for a few moments in that quiet presence. Listen, not with your ears, but with your heart. My faith is strong, and I continue to deepen in understanding and compassion. I sow peace wherever I am. Take a deep breath in, anchoring this truth, and exhale with gentle gratitude. One more time, exhale in, and exhale with gentle gratitude. When you're ready, begin to return to this moment. Wiggle your fingers and toes and slowly open your eyes. Carry this peace with you in your next breath, into your next word, and into the world. Namaste.
If you would please put your feet flat on the ground. Put your hands together and rub them, and let's just create some energy right here. As I do the opening prayer, close your eyes, lower them. And just imagine and allow my words to be your words. Right here, right now, I recognize the omnipotent essence, presence, feeling, energy that is perfect. It's whole and it's complete right here, right now. I call this God, my God. Harmony, beauty, potential, possibilities. Yeah. And love. And knowing that there is this presence in and through and as everything. That includes me. In me, as me, through me. For I know this presence is having a grand time. And I know this truth for every single person within earshot of my voice today, tomorrow, next week. I declare, today's a very, very good day. Today's day is filled with love and potential. I know the message shared, downloaded, uploaded is heard. And I allow myself to savor all of the possibility and ideas that come to my doorstep today. I pray for the open chair, knowing that weekly it gets filled by another and another and another. And I'm so grateful for this. I'm so grateful for this possibility and this potential. For I know this is the place where God is. I am. And just like my breath, I know the word has been spoken, declared, recognized, unified, filled with gratitude. I release it now, knowing, yep, it's here in the house. Right here, right now. Join me, and so it is.
Thank you so much, Joan, and thank you, Gary, for the opening. The centering, everything was so beautiful. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. Are you all centered?
Absolutely.
Maybe I should be centered. More centrally located. I like this. My talk today will be, no. But then I need my lyrics. We're going to do a fun congregational, so get those little... Come on! Come on! Yeah! Spiritual. I mean, that's what we're doing here, right? Ron Jones. Woo! What a way to start off today. Sorry, but it's glad you're here, girl. Good morning. I am Lauren Ballardini, one of the many practitioners here, and I am standing in for Reverend Cheryl Bell and Reverend Stacy Hilton as they are traveling to California. So, if it is comfortable for you, please say with me, God bless America and the rest of the world, and the rest of the world is standing next to you, so please say good morning. I know we need more time, Brandon said. But we don't want to miss the amazing music and the message Reverend Sandy has. So I would like to wish every father, every dad of any human, fur baby, mentorship that you have offered, I would like to say Happy Father's Day. Thank you. I would like to welcome anyone that is here for the first time. I met somebody on their way in earlier, and I don't know where they ended up sitting. Oh, I didn't ask how you heard about us.
Hi. Welcome home.
How did you find out about us?
I came last week. I got you off the internet.
Perfect. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
What's your name?
Najee. Anyone else that's here for the first time that I missed saying hello to? Oh, the rest is here. Oh!
I'm sort of, because I've come to the joint services with you.
That
This
is-
is my first CSL.
Welcome! Do you remind me your name?
Rosie.
Rosie. Oh, I love that. Thank you, Rosie. One big happy. So grateful for everyone that made it here today, either in person or virtually, and you are in for a great service. So thank you so much. Enjoy.
Yes, thank you,
When Patty told me the songs that were going to be this week's choices, and these came from Reverend Sandy, I presume.
Yep.
I was very excited about this first one because I grew up with this artist that wrote this particular song, and he was probably one of my biggest influences on my youth and music kind of thing. Also very fortunate that he was one of the probably the last great storyteller songwriters of our era or generation or whatever. So I was very excited because it happens to be one of my favorites. And
You do it so well.
oh, well, you haven't heard me yet.
Oh, I know.
We're gonna do it together.
I know.
I'm gonna start that again, please. Well, my child arrived just the other day. He Came into the world in the musical way, but there were planes to catch and bills to pay. Learned to walk while I was away, and he was talking before I knew it, and as it grew, he said, I'm gonna be like you, Dad. You know I'm gonna be like you. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then, son. We're gonna have a good time then. Well, my son turned 10 just the other day. He said, thanks for the ball, Dad, come on, let's play. Can you teach me to throw? I said, not today, got a lot to do. He said, that's okay. He walked away, but his smile never dimmed, and said, I'm gonna be like him. Yeah, no, I'm gonna be like him. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then, son. Gonna have a good time then. Well, he came from college just the other day, so much like a man, I just had to say, son, I'm proud of you. Can you sit for a while? And he shook his head, and he said with a smile, what I'd really like to, Dad, is to borrow the car keys. See you later, can I have them, please? Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, we'll get together then, Dad. Gonna have a good time then. Well, I've long since retired and my son's moved away. I called him up just the other day. I said, I'd like to see you if you don't mind. And he said, I'd love to, Dad, if I could find the time. You see, my new job's a hassle and the kids are the flu, but it's sure nice talking to you, Dad. It's been sure nice talking to you. As I hung up the phone, it occurred to me, you'd grown up just like me. My boy was just like me. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, son, I don't know when, we'll get together then, Dad. We're gonna have a good time then.
As you are. As you are. As you.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
It's so nice to see all of you here today. And I'm glad you decided to spend it with us instead of staying outside in the heat, you know? Happy Father's Day. I love that song that they just sang, and I asked Patty to play it. And today we're going to look a little more deeply into that song what Father's Day means. And we'll look at a holiday that set a spiritual milestone. Cats in the Cradle is written by Harry Chapin. And as you heard, it's all about a young boy who wants some time with his dad, but his dad is pretty busy. And sometimes that happens in a lot of families with parents. They end up being a little bit busy. In his particular case, Dad said he couldn't do it, but, we'll get together soon sometime. And the promises are made, and they're made probably in good conscience, but it really can hurt a person to say, well, yeah, we'll do that sometime. And so then they go through the years, and it ends up the father is calling the son to see if they can get together sometime. And of course, the cycle has repeated itself. At the end of the song, it shows how those empty promises can be handed down through the generation. And it's up to us to break the cycle. Father's Day. The idea for Father's Day started in 1909 when Sonora Smart Dodd was sitting in a church similar to where you're sitting, in a center like this, and she was listening to the minister talk about Mother's Day. And as she was sitting there, she thought, they do something for Mother's Day, but they don't always do something for Father's Day. And so she decided her father had been so special. He raised 6 kids by himself. And the last child died in childbirth, or the mother died in childbirth. The kid was still there. But it was something that she felt very strongly about because her father did spend so much time with her. So the next year, 1910, they had a Father's Day service. That was back in 1910, and it really wasn't made anything official until 1966 when Lyndon Johnson signed the day as a federal holiday. Barack Obama says, what makes you a man is not the ability to have a child, it's the courage to raise one, to guide with humility, to show up without fanfare, to sacrifice your own ease for the sake of someone else's future. That's the quiet greatness of fatherhood. It's not a role of perfection, but of presence. And I look back at my own life. I was in my 30s when my father died. And I know he loved me, but he had a hard way of showing it. I was the youngest in the family. He'd been 38 when I was born. And he just never really seemed to connect exactly on my level. I always thought, he's a man that talks too much. He was so intelligent that I think he had a hard time of reaching my level. And yet, he did teach me how to shoot archery, and he gave me a love of reading. But what stuck through the years was he talked too much. In the week before he died, I think now about the chance I missed of talking to him one more time. My first husband and I went back and forth between Los Angeles and San Diego, and we'd come to visit them, and we needed to get back to San Diego. And my mom said, oh, your dad's going to be home in about an hour. And I said, well, Mom, he's going to come home, and we're going to get involved in this conversation, and I'm not going to be able to get back to San Diego until midnight. Well, much to my surprise, the next week, I got the phone call saying my father had made his transition. I was just stunned. And it took me a while to be able to get through the fact that that last weekend was one that I'd ignored him, basically. Now, I was into religious science, and I had been taking some classes on letting go of things, of releasing things that you were tied onto, that were basically holding you back. And now I really can say that, I wish I had given him the chance to get to know me a little bit better. He did give me, though, 2 special gifts: my love of reading and a stunning smile. My father smiled all the time. He was the kind of person that you'd be sitting in a room and people were talking about each other, right? And then all of a sudden, without saying, "Oh, you shouldn't be talking about people," he would steer the conversation to something else. He was really a delightful and loving man, and I wish I had appreciated him more. But in that class that I took about releasing your guilt, one of the things they suggested, and I did it, was sitting down and writing a letter to my dad and telling him how much I really did appreciate it. And I wish that I had spent more time with him. It's never too late, and it's never too early. We were talking about Cats in the Cradle, and it's talking about Dad through the years. And I found this poem. It's by an unknown author. It says, "At 4 years old, my daddy can do anything. 7 years old, my dad knows a lot, a whole lot. 8 years old, well, my father doesn't quite know everything. 12 years old, oh, well, naturally, my father doesn't know that either. 21 years old, oh, father is so out of date. 25 years, he knows a bit, but not much. 30 years, I wonder what Dad would say. 35 years, before we decide, let's get Dad's idea first. 50 years, what would Dad have done? 60 years, my dad knew literally everything. 65 years, I wish I could talk things over with Dad once more. And it is true, sometimes we do take people for granted. Now we need to remember that we want to be the kind and loving people, kind and loving to our parents, to our friends, to our relatives. Charles Daniels Jr., and he wrote a book called Uplifting Fathers and Strengthening Families. He said, anyone can be a father, but it takes someone special to be a dad. A stepfather, an uncle, a mentor. When a man shows up for a child with love, consistency, and belief, he becomes a bridge that every soul longs for. It's never too soon and it's never too late, and that is our topic for today. The theme for the month is in living color, and last week we had a wonderful celebration and we had some wonderful talks about the idea of including everybody. Gary gave a great talk. Stacy gave a wonderful talk. And in living color means that we see the diversity, equity, and inclusion, and we appreciate it. Because it is what makes the world be able to work for all and not just some. So this means everywhere, everywhere, every planet, every animal, you get the picture. Especially human beings need to be kind to each other. We need to be kind to our planet because we are the inhabitants of it, and we want it to be here for years to come. A line of lyric from the show says, "Do what you want to do." It's a reminder to encourage and embrace who we are, regardless of whether we are accepted for or not. It's never too late and it's never too soon to actualize, embrace, and celebrate what all people bring to the world that we live in. I was speaking with Gary just last week about, in the history of America, there have been so many events that have happened that would make one think that we'd finally reached a place of equality for every people and every person on this planet. But I think back to those many things that have happened. We can think about civil rights movement, all kinds of things, year by year, and I think finally we've actually accepted that we're all one. But many of those events have actually been building blocks for future generations. Maya Angelou once said, "History, despite its wrenching pain, cannot be unlived. But if faced with courage, they need not be lived again." So this coming week, June 19th, is Juneteenth. It's a combination of June and 19 put together. And it's known as Emancipation Day. It symbolizes the end of slavery and commemorates the reading of President Abraham Lincoln's General Order Number 3 on June 19th, 1865 in Texas. He announced the freeing of the slaves. Now, he actually issued the proclamation 2.5 years early on January 1st, 1863, but it wasn't read out loud until 2.5 years later. It became a national holiday in 2021 when President Biden signed the measure into law. On hand for the celebration, and maybe you saw it before, was 94-year-old Opal Lee, who had advocated for the June 19th holiday for most of her life. Here's a spiritual takeaway. Juneteenth is not only a historical milestone, it's a spiritual marker. It reminds us that freedom is both a human right and a divine right. Though the Emancipation Proclamation had been signed 2.5 years early, it took time and reality to reach every corner. And that delay, unfortunately, echoes in our own lives, where truth may be declared before it's fully lived. Juneteenth calls us to confront systems, internal and external, that still bind. It invites us to celebrate how far we've come and recommit to the journey ahead. There's a wonderful journalist, Mel Kopenny, and she's a lead editorial strategist and journalist, and she lives in Orlando, Florida. She's been a journalist for 23 years. And I read a comment by her about when she was thinking back to the days of Juneteenth and what they used to do on the holidays. And she said, "I can still remember the feel of my Georgia summers, the smell of juicy burgers cooking on the charcoal grill, the ringing bell from the ice cream truck, enticing brown-skinned kids like me to spend their piggy bank coins. Weekend outings encountered soul music and R&B, and it gave my family and my community time to just relax and enjoy one another. Summer offered me a respite from my textbooks and teachers. It also held a significant day, Juneteenth, a day some beyond the Black community may not realize exists. So I just think it's a wonderful holiday for people to remember and celebrate. So again, happy Father's Day. Father's Day is simply a time when we specifically celebrate the masculine energy that exists in God and throughout all of nature, which includes ourselves, regardless of whether we're male or female. And since it is Father's Day, I'd like to share with you a joke about a father and son. Well, the son walks into his dad's study, and he says, "You know, Dad, how would you feel about helping me buy a car?" And the dad says, "Well, you know, I might consider it if you do 3 things. 1, bring up your grades. 2, start reading a little more spiritual material at home. And 3, cut your hair." Well, a couple of weeks go by, and the son comes back to his dad. He says, "Have you given any more thought to buying me that car?" And he said, "Well, son, you know, you have definitely brought your grades up from C's to B's. And I have seen you in the den just perusing the Bible and other spiritual magazines. But you still haven't cut your hair." I said, "Well, Dad, you know a funny thing, when I was reading the Bible, I discovered that there were a lot of people in the Bible who had long hair, you know? Jason had long hair. John the Baptist had long hair. And by all accounts and purposes, even Jesus had long hair." Father said, "Well, you know, you brought up quite a few good points here, but what I want to point out to you is that all of those 3 men walked everywhere they went." So happy Father's Day again, and happy Juneteenth. And remember, it's never too late, and it's never too early to celebrate diversity, equity, and inclusion. And you know, one of the things I heard about, because I came in this morning when they were, you know, practicing their songs, was the fact that they told you it's going to be Rainbow Connection. But somebody told me that Science Sewing magazine on the cover had Kermit the Frog. And it seems that Kermit the Frog started out with, "Oh my gosh, I'm green." So finally he ended up with a point where he was saying, "Oh, it's wonderful to be green." And it is wonderful when anybody can truly express who they really are without the fear of anybody saying anything about it. So, celebrate diversity, equity, and inclusion, because we are the center for spiritual living. And that's what we're about. That's the way we roll.
Reverend Sandy has spoken. Yes.
Have a great day. Again, thanks for being here, because I know it was hard to stay out in that heat and not come into some place where it's
Yeah, right. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I had a great dad. We all had great dads, hopefully, in some way. My dad was a singer. He was just a tremendous guy. He was so funny and loving and beautiful, and he just had a beautiful voice. And he taught me about love and loving one another. I think, not that my mom didn't, but my dad definitely instilled that in me. I lost him when I was 23, so I feel I lost a lot. But I'm going to try maybe writing him that letter. I think that's a good idea.
Yes.
And John, thank you again for accompanying me on these, on this song especially. It's so beautiful. He says it's a joy.
He's a joy. He's a joy.
I'm going to get centered again. One of my favorite songs. Thank you. and what's on the other side. Rainbows of visions, but only illusions, and rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. Who said that every wish would be heard and answered? We wish on a morning star. Somebody thought of that, someone believed it. Look what it's done so far. What's so amazing that keeps us stargazing? What do you think we might see? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. All of us under its spell. We know that it's probably magic. Our instant every wish would be heard and answered when wished on a morning star. Oh, have you been half asleep? And have you heard voices? I heard them calling my name. Well, I've heard too many times to ignore it. It's something that I'm supposed to be. Someday we'll find it, the rainbow connection, the lovers, the dreamers, and me. La 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 la
Is her name? Speaking of rainbow connections and Kermit the Frog, this is where we circulate and make our contribution to keep the center going for you and me. So thank you very much. And if thank you for jumping up here too. If you'll join us and really, really, really feel the words, because they took time to process this. It's all about, planting seeds. So help me plant some seeds. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal, bless, and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and belief. It does good work in the world and returns to me multiplied abundantly. And right here, right now, knowing that there is nothing outside of me, there's nothing outside of us. It's pure energy. And I bless the hands that provide the work. I bless the jobs. I bless the circulation. I bless Source. For Source is where all this comes from. And I know right here with the contribution that I put into the basket, whether it's auto-tithed or placed with gentle, loving, faith-ridden heart into the basket, I know I am filling the house of grain. Yeah, I'm filling up that which I know when I need is going to be here for me. And so it is.
Okay. Well, if you have not had breakfast today, or even if you have, it's time to have it again, right here after service. Right? Yeah, because the men's group have a beautiful breakfast waiting for us right here after service. And then again after Unity service. So if you want to stay and have a second breakfast, you can. Okay. And of course, Jamie Jetty, who gave the beautiful prayer this morning, is having her Life Reflection Cafe every single Monday morning at 10 a.m. right here. So you can join with conversation, connection, and reflection. Now, our annual tamale fundraiser is also happening, and this is your last chance to sign up for how many tamales you want. And they're in increments of 5 and 10, and the sign-up sheet is out on the happenings table, and you pay for them next week when you pick them up, right here. Okay? All right. Now, the Prosperity Plus program has been changed. The date now is on the 1st of July, and it's also lowered in price by $10, so it's just $39 now for the 7-week course. Now that's prosperity right there. I mean, come on. If you haven't taken this class, it's time to take it. That's all I can tell you. It changed my life, literally. I've taken it 3 times, and each time it changed it even more. So if you've taken it, take it again. And it's Tuesdays right here, starting July 1st for 7 weeks. And so sign up for it on the happenings table. Bubbles and blessings, Aldo. Can you come up and be a bubble and a blessing for us today? Here he comes. See him bubbling? He's blessing.
Good morning. I'm feeling bubbly. So, just like to, after we close it, but we'd like to thank everyone who has signed up for our Bubbles and Blessings, our little B&B, and that will be on the 28th of June, which is 6 o'clock. But please don't stop you from, if you're not able to come and you just wanted to donate or do something, because this is a fundraiser, so we would love you to do it. And you can either call me or call Reverend Franny for that. But this will be a great event. Thank you so much for coming. I mean, for you, those who are coming. And we're going to have fun. We're going to have a lot of bubbles, and you are going to be blessed. Thank you so much. And Patty will be singing for us for the night.
After a little bubble,
Yes.
I'll bless you.
The original BNP. Thank you.
You all know.
And it's supposed to be an amazing menu, too. I can't wait to see what's going to be served. 40 people have signed up.
Woo!
40! I mean, we're going to be back and neck there in her house. That's going to be great fun. Can't wait. Well, there is a wonderful workshop coming up on June 30th at 6 p.m. right here. Reverend Marquita Pierre McAllister is doing her workshop where she is saying she's got 4 different bullet points. Identify disempowering core beliefs, develop awareness tools to interrupt limiting patterns, transform limiting narratives into empowering truths, and meeting challenges with clarity and strength. So I signed up. This sounds like a really good workshop. 6 o'clock, and it's just, there's no price. I think it's $15 plus a love offering, is that right? Plus love offering. So, what's such a deal? So, 6 o'clock on 30th. If you are interested in joining the choir, there's a flyer on the happenings table, so pick up that flyer, and it explains the entire process of what's going on with this choir.
You're saying there's a choir flyer?
There's a choir flyer. There's a choir. Yeah, there was a choir. We were a choir. We had a choir. We had a choir. We're going to do a choir again. We will inquire about the choir if you actually sign up on the sheet and find out more about it. Okay. The choir flyer. Okay, and then, oh yes, and if you have any food, if you don't have any food, or if you know somebody that doesn't have any food, we have food in our pantry. So you need to stop whenever you're shopping and just pick up some, items that might be, that you could bring to help out with that. Because we do give food away here every week. And there's still food here, but, let people know that are food insecure. And for prayer support, just send your prayer request to prayer@LasVegasCSL.org or text 702-524-7096. And our bookstore is open. If you have not paid for your Bubbles and Blessings yet, you can buy your ticket there at the bookstore and also pay for the class, the prosperity class there as well. And tamales, you can pay ahead if you want to pay ahead today instead of waiting till next week. I did not know that.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so the bookstore's open. And then remember to bring your aluminum cans, we're saving for kids camp, so bring your aluminum cans. And of course, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then visit our website. And everybody check out the happenings table. Let's have a happy Father's Day, everybody.
All right, let's ask the administrative prayer team to please surround the room. And then we're going to have Reverend Sandy do our closing prayer.
And as I breathe in the presence of God. And I know that as we leave this building, that presence is with each and every one of us. I know that as we go out into our homes, into the community, that we spread love and we spread kindness. And for this and so much more, I'm deeply grateful. And so it is.
Let's stand and sing.
Let's stand and sing our peace song.
There is peace on earth, and now it begins with me. through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
I know this in my mind.
I know this in my mind.
I feel it in my body.
I feel it in my body.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Have a great week.
I'm glad you could make it out here today also. Yeah, wonderful.